Eric. How have you been?
Hello, hello. I've been good. How are you?
Good. So, for this session, I just want to let you know that, which you already know, but it's confidential and everything that you say to me will be kept private unless you speak about hurting someone or hurting yourself, okay?
Okay, understood.
So, we're going to do a mood check. How are you? How have you been through like this week and everything with training and work?
Yeah. No, I've been good. I've been really good compared to last week and then compared to the week before, for sure. Implementing the things that you've been teaching me, here and there, and then just trying to take it one step at a time because it's always overwhelming. It's a completely new experience for me. This job is something that I wasn't familiar with what I'm doing. But overall doing good. Today I'm good.
Sounds good. I'm glad that you are feeling a lot better than you were when I first started speaking to you. So it seems like everything's working out for you. We'll go more into depth later, though. So let me set the agenda for you so you know what we're doing today.
Okay.
So I'm going to get an update from you a little bit more in depth. And then we're going to review the homework that I gave to you, which was give yourself credit and also to get organized and make a schedule for yourself. We're also going to learn about thought records and automatic thoughts. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about that so that could help with your mood also and the thoughts that come through your head and how you can maintain them. And then I'm gonna get a summary. We're gonna review the upcoming homework, and then I'm gonna get your feedback on how you feel these sessions are going again. Okay?
Oops.
Okay, sounds good. So let's get an update. How have these couple weeks been?
So like I was saying, I started this job. It was training at first, and it's this job where I'm basically being a medical scribe, which means that I'm an assistant slash secretary of doctors, of various doctors. And for that, I have to use this new software that I wasn't familiar with at all. And it was just very overwhelming at first. I was getting very stressed very quickly. Um, and then also that I have to type really fast. So my words per minute count has to be like at 70, and I was getting it at 60. So I needed to improve 10 more words per minute. And so that was bringing a lot of stress. And it was also making me a little bit, sad and anxious because I was like, what if I'm not good enough for this job? Like, what if I get fired? But taking it one step at a time, I remembered, the homework was to stop and like reward myself. And that's what I've been doing. I took it when I first started, I was at 55 words per minute. Then I improved to 60. So I stopped and I said, hey, you're here, you're doing this, you're in the right track. I'm almost done with my training. I'm getting along with my supervisors, getting along with my coworkers, and everybody's telling me that I'm doing a good job. I'm telling myself that I'm doing a good job, rewarding myself, saying like, hey, you got this, you got this. You can get to those 70 words per minute. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on so far with that. And then the software that was being very, very stressful, I just went ahead, sat down, took a breath, and then looked at videos on YouTube and figured out how to use the software. And I'm still learning, but it's going pretty well for the most part. So that's the update is, the stress levels are there, but they're decreasing. Anxiety levels are still there, but decreasing. Feeling overwhelmed, but that's normal. And then I just, I'm learning how to bring myself back to being calmed down and then grounding myself. So, yeah.
I'm glad you're doing so much better than when we first started because before, like little things like that would stop you. And especially like the typing where you have a goal that you had to reach.
Yeah.
Like that's something that, I'm glad that you're looking at it more positive
Yeah.
and you're rewarding yourself. You're giving yourself credit.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
it sounds like the job is really opening your mindset to being like happier
Yeah.
and also like taking more stress off of you about school and the tests that you have to do and everything.
Yeah. And
So
the cost of it too. Yeah.
that's great. So like with reviewing the homework, I could tell you've been giving yourself credit and it seems like you've been getting organized. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So the organization, I'm glad you bring that up. I've been practicing that more towards the side of me getting into medical school than towards the job. So I'm applying the self-reward for my job. and then applying the organization for getting into medical school. So what I did is, I bought myself this really good agenda that helps me organize everything from the beginning of my day to the end of my day, for how many months. And then from beginning of the day, hour, each hour of the day. So I bought myself that agenda. And then what I've been doing is, for example, I've been telling me, okay, so from this time, you're going to wake up, you're going to get ready, eat breakfast, then you're going to go to work. After work, whatever happens at work happens at work. After work, I take my work mentality off. And then in my agenda, it says begin studying. I allocate 4 hours of my day to studying. And then after those 4 hours complete, I submit 2 more hours to, looking up what schools I'm going to be applying to and stuff that I didn't go over while I was studying. And so that's how I'm organizing my time now. And it's a lot better because now I feel like I have structure. Before, all my thoughts were everywhere and I wasn't really getting anywhere, or I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. But now that like my thoughts are structured and my days are structured, I see like a very detailed and organized path to my end goal, which is applying to medical school and getting in. So yeah, that's how I've been applying the organization.
That's great, because I know that it's a little bit difficult to get organized at first, but it
Yeah,
seems like an agenda, like having something to structure your day, is what
yeah,
really is helping you when it comes to school. So you have, um, your job where you're giving yourself credit, and then you come home and then you have a whole schedule when to study.
yeah.
So I'm so happy for you. And we're also going to learn a couple more things. So hopefully these can help with your thoughts as well, and
Okay.
how you feel about your upcoming future in med school.
All right.
So I'm going to teach you about thought records for automatic thoughts. So automatic thoughts are a stream of thinking that basically manifest thoughts, and it's like a stream of thoughts. So for example, because you fail a test, you can never do good in school. Like you feel like you never did good in school ever, even though it's just one test. It kind of makes you think like everything is bad because of that one test.
Right.
And automatic thoughts, they can distort reality. They're associated with unhelpful emotional and or physiological um, reactions to your body and everything. They lead to unhelpful behavior. They interfere with your sense of well-being and ability to take steps or reach a goal. So do you think that you've had like a lot of automatic thoughts that have been negative?
For sure. I mean, I was telling you earlier about my job, how like at first it was very discouraging that I couldn't hit I was in the 50s for my word per minute count while typing. And it was just very discouraging because, the automatic thought that comes to my head is like, okay, I'm not good enough for this job. I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to get far. This is it for me now. And, if I get fired, then I don't have the money to pay for my resources to study for my exam, pay for the exam, get into medical school. So all these thoughts flood my mind. So for sure that. And then when it comes to school, a big part of my studying process for this exam is taking practice exams. And when I don't do good on one, I for sure feel down and I'm like, yo, like, is this really for me, But like you said, it's just one exam is not indicative of my success.
Well, it's great that you're able to identify those thoughts. So that's actually a step towards this. The fact that you can see, like, just because one thing goes wrong or one thing isn't on plan to what you thought it would be, doesn't mean that everything's wrong.
Right.
So there's an automatic thought record, like worksheet. So what you do is when you notice your mood's getting worse, you ask yourself, what's going through my mind right now? And then you fill out a table. And it has like a date and a time slot. So the situation is the first box. And it's what led to the unpleasant emotion. And then after that, what distressing physical sensations did you have? So after that section, there's automatic thoughts. What thoughts or images went through your mind? How much did you believe that thought at the time? 0 to 100%. So then after that one, there's emotions. What emotions did you feel at the time? How intense was the emotion? And then adaptive response, that's which thinking styles did you engage in? And then you use the questions below that you just came up with. And how much did you believe each response? Like, how much did you believe that negative response of, I'm not good enough? And that's 0 to 100%. So you rate yourself again. And then the outcome, how much do you believe your automatic thoughts now that you see it written down on paper? And what emotions do you feel now at what intensity at the
Okay.
moment? So um, it's really just checking to see that your automatic thoughts aren't, they're not always right. They're not really ever right too much because they're so negative. And it doesn't mean that because you failed a test, you're not going to do good in med school. It's just one thing. Or maybe you could just try harder or try a different way of doing something.
Right.
So I would definitely like to give this to you as a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once you're able to see it on paper, you're going to be able to identify it better.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're going to assign that for homework. Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a worksheet that I have to fill out.
It's a worksheet, and you just put the date and the time so that you can see every single time that you've had an automatic thought and how you can change them.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over a summary. So today we did a mood check on you to see how you were doing. We set the agenda. I got another update, more in depth from you, that you started the job, you're feeling a lot better, you've been doing the homework, organization, and you've been giving yourself credit. So proud of you. And also, I taught you about a thought record and automatic thoughts. And now you're going to take the worksheet home, you're going to do it yourself, and then bring it back next week and we will go over it. So is there any feedback that you would like to give to me?
No, honestly, you're doing great. I definitely see the improvement in myself. People around me that are close see the improvement in myself. Like my friends and family have mentioned it. So I want to thank you for that because, I definitely feel like at the beginning of this therapy sessions, I was I was at a different place than I am now, and people are noticing it. I'm noticing it. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for being so accommodating because now that I'm starting my job, I know we're going to be meeting on Fridays. We're shifting the meetings from Wednesdays to Fridays, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for that too.
No problem. I'm just glad the CBT is helping you
Yeah,
learn how to process your thoughts and make everything a little bit easier on yourself.
yeah.
So thank you so much, and I will meet with you next week.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will see you next week.
All right, bye.
Friday next week.
Friday.
Bye bye.